Hi, I'm Rev Charmayne Scruggs at Interquest Church, and I'd like to share a story today. And it's a story about faith. This happened when my husband and I, we had bought our first house, and it was only a few years in. And he unfortunately had lost his position. He had been unemployed for a few months, and it was starting to get towards the end of his employment benefits. And each day he would go into the office, pull up the computer, and start looking for work. And he did this religiously. Every morning from about 9 till the early afternoon. And he was very driven, shall we say. And during that time, we had also, we were completing an addition to our house. So in the afternoons, he would go work on that. Well, I came home one day with the wonderful news that I had been laid off from my position. I could see the stress in his face, but I always felt that whenever I needed to find a position, it was there. I just always had faith in that. Anyway, I decided to stay on payroll because I was doing some dental work, and which meant that I could not apply for unemployment benefits for a couple weeks. So one day we're in the office and he's looking, and he asked me when I was going to start looking, and I said, oh, soon, And then the weekend came, and we're in the addition working, and he turns to me, and by this time he had finally kind of hit that point of, when are you going to start looking for a position? And I turned to him and I said, you know what? I've put my faith in God, and I know when that position is ready for me, it will find me. And he says to me very sarcastically, well, God is not going to call you on the phone and offer you a job. And of course I turned back to him and I said, look, I don't expect God to call me, but I just know that when the time is right, that job is going to be there. And he's like very dismissive and walks off, and within 30 seconds our phone rings. And I go and I answer it. I'm on the phone for a few minutes, and I come back and he says, well, who was that? And I looked at him very seriously and I said, well, that was God on the phone, and he wants me to go to work for this company. And he goes, what? No, who was it? I said, God. That was God calling, offering me a job. And then he says, no, really, who was it? And I told him, that was my friend's husband calling me, offering me a position. They had an opening in their company and thought I would be right for the position. He asked if I would come in that Monday and interview. And I did, and sure enough, I got the position. But I'll tell you what, it was interesting to see the confusion on his face. He couldn't believe what had just happened, and yet he was experiencing it. I chose to stand in my faith and not do what the outer world was telling me I needed to do. I had an opportunity to see my husband's eyes open through my faith. And one day, if you're lucky and you stay true in yours, you may have the opportunity to see the eyes of those around you opened by God through your faith. Thank you.